Ah, hey. Approaching Sarah hesitantly, I spoke, causing her shoulders to jerk in surprise. I've been noticing you always leave the classroom around lunchtime. What are you doing here? She blushes deeply and looks down. On closer inspection, she's trembling slightly. Like a small animal. I'm not blaming you or anything. I just thought maybe you wanted to eat lunch alone. But where's your lunchbox? In our district, school lunches are only provided until elementary school, and from middle school, only milk is distributed, and students bring their lunches. An empty milk bottle is placed right next to where Sarah is sitting, but there's nothing else in sight. She, with her ears turning red, answers in a small, cracked voice.
I don't have one.
What? You never bring a lunch? Sarah nods, looking like she's about to cry. Seeing her like this, I feel like crying too. Reaching into my backpack, I pull out my lunchbox and offer it to her. Here, eat this. She looks up at my lunch with astonishment and shakes her head vigorously.
That's yours. Andy, you'll be hungry.
No, you must be hungrier than me. I swallow those words and flash her my biggest smile. Then, let's share. I want to brag about how delicious my dad's cooking is. Her eyes widen. Upon closer look, I notice her beautiful features and feel a bit flustered.
Are you sure?
Her last words are choked with tears and are barely audible, but I understand what she's trying to say. Of course, my grandpa always said we should help each other out in times of need. A tearful smile appears on Sarah's face. Seeing that smile for the first time makes my heart race unexpectedly. What's this? Am I being too easy? I'm in the 8th grade. I have a classmate who's caught my attention. It's not in a romantic way. Her name is Sarah Baker. All middle school girls wear the same uniforms, but Sarah's navy blue jacket and skirt are faded and shiny from friction, making her stand out. Her socks are stretched and crumpled around her ankles. We were in different classes in the 7th grade, so I didn't know her, but I heard from friends that she's from a poor, single-parent family. I never had such classmates, so the simplicity of her situation surprised me. Sarah always seems to be alone, whether because of her worn-out appearance or her quiet nature. She isn't bullied by the other girls, but she is avoided. The most striking thing is, every lunchtime, she leaves the classroom with her backpack. Teacher. Sarah left the classroom again. Asking the teacher, who is passing by in the hallway, I receive a vague response. It's fine. It's Sarah. With the rule of facing forward while eating lunch in the cafeteria, why is Sarah the only one allowed to eat alone outside? It makes even less sense. Today, I decide to find out why she always eats alone. Pretending to be unwell, I tell a lie about going to the nurse's office and wander around the school until I find Sarah sitting behind the school building.
It's delicious.
When Sarah bites into the omelet, her eyes light up as if she's deeply moved. Right, my dad's omelet is the best in the world. She smiles gently.
Yeah, it's the world's best omelet.
Sarah, during 7th grade, felt embarrassed to eat with everyone because she didn't have a lunchbox. She asked her teacher if she could stay outside until lunchtime was over, and it seems she has been allowed to do so even in 8th grade. I, rushing back from school, dashed into the kitchen. Dad, from tomorrow, prepare lunch for 2. My dad, preparing dinner, looks up.
Why for 2, Mike? Can you help with the appetizer?
Answering me, he works busily, his eyes and hands never resting. To avoid disrupting his work, I quickly explained that a classmate, too poor to bring lunch, needed help.
All right, I'll prepare a special lunch for tomorrow. Look forward to it.
I said, thanks, and left the kitchen. We run in. My mom is the landlady and my dad is the chef. It's a small and the building is very old, established in 1925, but it's popular for delicious food and cozy rooms, attracting many regular customers. The next day, I spot Sarah walking in the hallway during break, rush back to the classroom, and grab my extra bag. Sarah. Handing her the lunchbox, she looks more surprised than yesterday. There are 2 today. This one is yours.
But
Seeing her wanting to say something, I pushed the lunchbox towards her firmly. Don't waste food, just take it. I turn on my heel and head back to the classroom. Was I too forceful? I worry, but I don't have time to look back and check Sarah's expression. Lunchtime. Sarah is at the cafeteria. She unwraps and starts eating her lunchbox. Other classmates watch her.
Andy, why did you give Sarah a lunchbox?
Hey, do you like her or something?
Soon everyone senses that I gave her a lunchbox and I get teased by those jerks. Giving a lunchbox means I like her. If you were the one without a lunchbox at school, could you stand it? Isn't it normal to help when you know someone doesn't have lunch? What, am I wrong? I, unintentionally adopting a confrontational attitude, am irritated, not only with the guys who are teasing me, but also with those who have known and ignored it, in the same class in 7th grade, and the teacher.
Sorry, Andy.
We didn't think about it.
They're not bad guys if you talk to them right. The girls must be the same. After that, no one teases me for giving Sarah a lunchbox. It's not just that.
Sarah, I can't eat this bread anymore. Can you take it?
My mom made too many sandwiches. It would be helpful if you could take them.
Girls who had been completely ignoring Sarah start talking to her, offering her extra food under the name of leftovers. Sarah crumples her face and starts crying. I almost cry too. I snap back to reality and realize I am no longer a middle school student. 20 years since then. I wonder if she is doing well. After college, lacking culinary talent, I didn't start as a chef, but as a management trainee at the inn, and now I support my mom as a manager. That being said, the business is not all smooth sailing. Rather, it's in a state of financial crisis. It has become a popular tourist destination rich in nature, attracting not only individuals but also group customers. With that, well-known major hotel chains began to expand in this area. This is affecting our inn's business. It is difficult for a small private inn like ours, which has been in business for a long time, to compete with major hotels. Our regular customers still visit, but we can't attract new or group customers. The aging of the building is one of the reasons. I believe that renovating the building would attract customers, but we are struggling financially and can't afford the renovation work. Around this time, there was a plan to convert this area into a new residential area. The commuting area to city center is expanding year by year, and even 2 hours one way is now recognized as a commuting area. There is nature here, like rivers and valleys, and it's lush with greenery. Raising children in such a place and commuting 2 hours to New York is their concept. Along with this, acquisitions of buildings and land have been progressing. Naturally, the talk reached me too.
Running a private inn here is impossible now. It's more solid to sell the land, receive a large sum of money, and prepare for retirement.
My parents are old enough. The anxiety is too great to support this inn alone. What should I do? What should I do now? I was holding my head. Then I saw a luxury black car approaching our inn through the glass door. And it's not just one vehicle. There are several of them. I shudder, wondering if this is harassment towards this inn that refuses to vacate. The automatic door opens, and a woman wearing a beautiful dress enters, leading men in suits. She notices me, frozen in the lobby, and runs over with a shout.
Andy,
I don't know any beautiful women like her. While I'm dumbfounded, she takes my hand.
don't you remember me? We were classmates in middle school. Sarah Baker.
Oh. As soon as she says her name, I shout, "This can't be true. Can a woman change this much?" Sure, she was cute in middle school, but no matter 20 years have passed, transforming into such a beauty is unbelievable. Sarah chuckles at me, widening my eyes. Ah, her smile is the same as the old days. It's her, for sure.
I came to repay a favor.
She squeezes my hand and looks into my eyes sincerely.
I want to help save this inn.
3 months later, after taking a significant risk with a temporary closure, the inn has been fully renewed and reopened. The exterior of the old-fashioned architectural style was retained, while the interior and all other aspects of the building have been completely renovated. The cold floor has been replaced with a beautiful red carpet, giving the lobby a brighter look with natural light. A new lounge bar has been established, and a terrace has been added for guests to relax on sunny days. Of course, the taste of our proud cuisine remains the same. Sarah funded this entire renewal. In return for the funding, we provided shares of our company. If we make a profit, so does she. But this area is transforming into a residential area, and I don't know if the business will go well. Even so, should we accept such a large investment? I show my uneasy face, and Sarah smiles.
I would have wanted to give you money directly. But knowing you, Andy, you wouldn't accept it. So that's why I proposed this, and I would be troubled if you refuse.
After graduating middle school, Sarah worked while attending a part-time high school. After high school, to support her family, she became a hostess. Deciding to succeed in the hostess business, she cherished her connections with clients and became number one. When she was able to support her mother, she decided to quit the job and go to college, Using the connections she made during her hostess days, she established a venture capital firm while in college. Venture capital firms invest in unlisted venture companies, acquiring stocks, aiming to gain substantial profits by selling the stocks when those companies go public. One of the venture companies she invested in obtained a patent and became globally famous, and she earned a considerable profit.
The reason I started venture capital was inspired by your words, Andy.
I tilt my head when she told me.
Words of your grandpa. When in trouble, it's all about helping each other out. I was helped by you when I was in trouble, so I thought it was time for me to help someone in trouble now. It's not just about volunteering or a spirit of sacrifice. It's also about making it a viable business, creating a win-win situation.
I'm sure Sarah must have had her share of struggles to get here. But even that, she turned into nourishment and climbed her way up to success. You're amazing.
I, myself, thought you were amazing back in middle school. No one would even look at me. I was treated as if I didn't exist. Among all, you were the one to extend a helping hand. But that's not all. You even changed the attitudes of our classmates. You're the game changer in my miserable life. From there, the flow of my life changed all at once.
Tears welled up in her eyes. I feel like crying too.
When I found out your inn was in a financial crisis, I thought it was time to pay you back. A time of trouble is a time of mutual aid. Finally, I could tell you directly.
On the opening day of the inn, thanks to Sarah's backup, the renovated and beautifully transformed inn's photos and videos were not only on our site and SNS, but also featured on travel sites and online news, becoming a topic of conversation. Thanks to that, reservations flooded in, and it's fully booked for the next 6 months. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Sarah is also standing next to me as I greet with a smile.
I'm thinking of being an innkeeper after being in venture capital. What do you think, Andy?
When she asked me that, I answered, blushing, I think that's a great idea. My mom, who is listening with a laugh, seems to have already accepted the young innkeeper,